Hello, my name is Tom Engblom. I am a regional account executive for First Citizens Bank, and I've been in the industry for 40 years. I started when I was five. My background is somewhat detailed for most people. I represent 7 states for the bank, and I began in the industry as a association manager for 20 years, and I've been at the bank for 20 as well. So I have a very diverse background of what it comes to learning and knowing and understanding. And what I'm about to talk about today is the personality traits, and it's based on a DISC assessment. And I believe that based on that information that is available for you, and I would highly recommend that every management company that would be out there would give a personality trait to your board members and or managers. And before we begin, this was originally created by William Martin Mostyn in 1893, an individual with a doctorate degree in psychology. And what's interesting about him is when he created this, not only did he create the DISC assessment that's been around since 1933, but he also created Wonder Woman, and he's also the creator of the lie detector test. So it's interesting how all these concepts guide together and become part of one. But to talk about the DISC assessment, there's various categories that are in there. And you can go online and take these tests for free. And many organizations today still use this information. It's very useful in defining how individuals will react to certain situations and guidelines to what they perceive as important to them. And when you look at the different components that you have, the disc is made up of the different components. So the D is a driver. So imagine a driver, who that would be someone overzealous, very creative, wanting to get results. I am a D. I don't want to hear the minutia. I want the facts. I want to get to the point. Is that the type of individual that you want to be as the secretary or the president of your particular association? The next one is the I, which is the influencer. Those are probably the political correct individuals, the ones that want to guide people, show them their way, make them feel that their perspective is the important one. And again, that particular individual you need in management because a good manager needs to be an influencer. They need to influence the board, how to react, how to feel what's important, how to agree on a particular contract or some type of component. The next one is the complementer. Think about that complementer. They want everyone to get along. They want the people to be a part of the bigger picture. They want uniformity at the association or in a management perspective. Keep the particular meeting proceeding according to the agenda. Make sure it's important. How do you want to guide and be part of that component at that association? And the last one is the supporter. The supporter is a critical part because without them, you can't get anything done. They're the ones that are going to be influenced by the influencer. They're going to support the endeavor, whether they know it's going to be a special assessment or some other type of ancillary service that's going to be provided that's going to cost the association or the individual a additional fee. They want to support what's important to the association. All these components combine, and many times when I travel in the different regions that I do, and I talk to many of the managers that are out there, I hear how their board meetings go longer and longer and longer. Why is that? Because people want to hear themselves talk. They want to hear what's important to them. And if these simple tests would be provided, and it would provide an avenue for you on how to know the type of individual you're dealing with, then you could tailor your agenda, your particular avenue, whether it be the reserve study, if you follow a reserve study, and how that reserve study would coincide with these individuals on the board or the committee. And again, why do people get on committees? Why do you want people to get on committees? You want people to get on committees so they're a conduit of the board, so they could be successful in the endeavor of pursuing what's important for the accomplishment of the association. Getting the proper people on the committee is a great sample of what the DISC assessment could do for you. And there's an old cliche out there that there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Well, again, think about, you don't want all D's on the board. If you had all D's on the board, nothing would get done, nothing would be accomplished. It would just be complete turmoil that you would have going on constantly at the association. So by having a certain type of makeup of individuals on the board, that's going to make the association successful. That's going to make your management company more successful. Again, you having the right people in the right position. So if you look at the individuals, whether they're in accounting, whether they're in customer service, a manager, are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? These components from the DISC assessment will provide that insight and those tools that will give individuals the proper direction and make them feel more comfortable. And I think what's important too, in the end, is that by having people in their right assignment based on their personality trait, not only will they be more successful as an individual, but they will also have better job satisfaction. If you have better job satisfaction for that individual, you're going to have longevity at your company. You're going to have longevity at your association. You're going to have historical value. These all coincide and tie into each other. The personality trait is just critical in the endeavors of a management company or an association, because when an individual buys in an association, they don't know what they're getting into, what the makeup is. But now, based on the DISC assessment, individuals can know the personalities, the individuals that are part of it, and if they want to be part of the bigger organization or the goal that's important for that. And again, a DISC assessment is important for the individuals, similar to what a reserve study is for the association. They both tie together. They show the makeup of the board. They show what's important, the criteria, and the longevity for success. I believe that managers have and board members have a very challenging task in front of them. And by knowing the type of individual, knowing their personality trait, they will know how to respond to other individuals. They will not take anything personal, and they'll be more successful in the long perspective of the association to accomplish the goals of what's set before everyone in their arena of their particular area. I think if you would review the DISC assessment, and if you would take it, even online, it will provide a wealth of information for you individually as well as your groups. And then you'll know how to respond to people, how to feel accordance. I mean, I am sure that everyone that's viewing this video at one time had a conflict with an individual. And why did you have that conflict? It was all based on personality. If you now know how that individual is, whether they're a D, an I, an S, or C, you'll be able to respond to them more accurately and appropriately to solidify and resolve the issues at hand. I appreciate the time and effort that you've been able to put aside to listen to my presentation today. I'm a big supporter of the chapter, big supporter of CAI. I have a doctorate degree, and I believe that because of that degree, that solidifies the information that I present for you today. And I look forward to meeting you either personally or professionally at a future event for the chapter. Thank you.